In this video, let's talk about how to determine the behavior of a polynomial for large values of x, meaning the behavior at negative infinity or positive infinity. If you're wondering how to do that, the first question you should ask yourself is whether the polynomial is given in factored form or not. Because if they factored it for you, it completely changes everything. But when you look at these examples I have, none of them are factored, right? Okay, if none of them are factored, here is the first thing you ask yourself. Which of the terms, and I see that there are three terms here, has the highest power of x? So let's identify what are the powers. For 8 is a number. Think of a number as 8x to the power 0, because remember, anything to the power 0 is 1 unless it's 0 when it's undefined. But any number has power 0. Then 6x squared, what is in the power? What's in the exponent? That's the only thing that matters here, is this number, right? Which is 2. And then this guy right here is 9. Which of them has the highest power? Well, obviously plus 2x to the 9 term, right? Okay, so this guy right here, that's the one that has the highest power. What is the degree? The degree is the exponent. Like, what is the highest power? Well, that would be 9. Okay, now the leading coefficient, that would be the number including the sign. In my case, it's plus 2, so that just means it's 2. Okay, then what you do is you look at whether the degree is even or odd. In this case, I can see that the degree is odd, right? Because 9 is odd. If it's odd, the answers for negative infinity and infinity should be opposites. They will not be the same. And then depending on the leading coefficient, if it's positive, then the behavior just mirrors whatever x is. So here, behaviors at negative infinity is going to be negative infinity. Behavior at positive would be positive infinity. If the leading coefficient was negative, then you would have switched them. Okay, so it'd be like the other way around. Okay. Now let's look at the next example. So here we have 7t squared. What is the power or the number in the power? 2. For t, well, you'd be wondering, okay, what's the number in the power? There's no number in the power, but you can always insert it. That would be power 1. Because anything to the power 1 is the same thing. Okay, so this is going to be 1. And then the next one has power 3. So this is 3. Which one has the largest power? Obviously the last one. Okay. The degree, what is that? That's the number in the power, the largest power, okay? So that's going to be 3. The leading coefficient, well, that would be the number in front of t cubed, but that's negative 6. It's very important not to drop the minus. You want to make sure the minus is there. Okay, 3 is odd. That means the behavior at negative infinity at infinity will not be the same. They will be opposites. And now, because the leading coefficient is negative, it's going to be like the other one. So at negative infinity, you're going to get positive infinity. At positive infinity, negative infinity. Okay, let's look at the last example. Here we got negative p squared. This one has power 2. 8, again, is a number, that's power 0. For p has power 1, so that's power 1. Which is the largest one? Obviously 2. Okay, so that would be the degree of this polynomial, that's 2. The leading coefficient is in front of the variable, and in this case it's a minus. So what does that mean, minus? Well, that would be minus 1. Okay, you can always insert 1. Now let's look. Okay, so we can see that the degree here is even. If it's even, it's the same on both sides. Okay, unlike odd, it's always opposite. Even, the same. Both pluses or both minuses. Well, what does it depend on? The leading coefficient. If the leading coefficient is positive, there will be both pluses. If the leading coefficient is negative, there will be both negatives, which is, in my case, which means that this is going to be negative infinity, and this will also be negative infinity.